EFF leader Julius Malema will today have a highly anticipated roundtable dialogue with the news editors and senior journalists to reflect on the 10 years of the EFF. SABC News reporter Samkele Maseko is now joining us live from the Maslow Hotel. Samkele, good morning. Thank you so much for making time for us. Tell us more about this roundtable dialogue.
Well, Aldrin, the EFF leader Julius Malema will have that roundtable with senior reporters and editors here at the Maslow Hotel, reflecting on the 10 years of the economic freedom fighters. You'd remember the July 26 movement was formed at the backdrop of the Samkele massacre and also the cries by those within South Africa whom had become despondent with the erstwhile liberation movement, saying that Julius Malema, after his expulsion from the ANC, must form his political organization to represent the downtrodden and the poor within the Republic of South Africa and the diaspora and the African continent at large. The EFF is effectively born in Marikana and effectively had their very first convention in Soweto, where they asked the question, what is to be done? But I'm going to bring in Mr. Snao Tambo, the spokesperson of the EFF. Snao, just the essence of the formation of the EFF. What can we anticipate here today in this frank dialogue by your Commander-in-Chief, Julius Malema?
Look, the EFF, as you had said, was formed on the basis of the cries from Marikana. So it's those sacrifices of those 34 mine workers who were killed in a toxic collusion between the state and white monopoly capital and domestic and international capital that led to the formation of this giant organization. So we gathered in Uncle Tom's Hall on the 26th of July to ponder about what is to be done. Activists from across the country decided that a political party must be formed that is going to challenge the establishment and fight for economic freedom, because our understanding is that political freedom without economic freedom is meaningless. So today we'll be reflecting on that 10-year journey from that fateful day when we decided to form this organization. What have been the challenges, the achievements of the EFF over the past couple of years, and what are we going to do looking forward, hopefully into another decade of economic freedom and unbroken struggle.
You've sent out a number of tweets, as is now Tambo, in the past few days, saying that you've grown up in this political organization from its days in the EFF Student Command to where it is today, to being in the Central Command team, to being the national spokesperson of the Economic Freedom Fighters. How has this journey been for you, as is now Tambo, from the University of Cape Town as a member of the EFF Student Command?
Look, it's been challenging. It's been a fulfilling experience, and we have indeed been raised by the EFF since a very young age when we entered university, and since we were integrated into the Central Command team in 2019 at the Second National People's Assembly of the EFF. So it's been a challenging experience. It's been a fulfilling one. It's been one where we've learned to sacrifice our time and commit ourselves to tasks that are given to us, and hopefully the organization can reflect on our contribution as part and parcel of a much larger contribution as individuals to the collective struggle for the freedom of our people.
When you look at the first layer of leadership, being Julius Malema, Floyd Shivambu, Dalimpofu, Godrich Gadi, that first leadership that was elected in the first NPA in Bloemfontein, going on to the second layer of leadership, Mbuyiseni Ndlozi, you look at Patrick Sindani as well. You come to the third layer of leadership of the EFF yourselves, Vianney Pambo, you go to Nkululeko Dunga, the now provincial chairperson, and also MMC in Ekurhuleni. When you look at the governance of the EFF, and these layers of leadership that have subsequently evolved over the period of time, how would you say this leadership has galvanized and nurtured the second, the third, and the fourth layer of leadership?
I think that there's been a huge emphasis on quality. So it's not to sing our own praises, but the EFF has emphasized qualitative leadership in all of its ranks. People who are educated, people who are skilled mobilizers, people who are skilled orators, writers, thinkers in society, intellectuals, and people who are able to interact with the grassroots struggles of our people and come from those backgrounds as well. People who come from backgrounds that some might regard as rather opulent for those of us who went to institutions such as UCT. So there's been a good mixture of people from various backgrounds with various skills and expertise that has been able to enhance the succession process of the EFF, which is still at a very young age in itself and can hopefully not necessarily be called succession at this early stage, because we're all coming through the ranks of the EFF Student Command to be where we all are today. So I think there's been a high emphasis on quality, people who are committed and dedicated to when they are given tasks. And if that approach can continue, the EFF will see a very long life.
Thank you very much, Mr. Snautamo. That is Mr. Snautamo, the spokesperson of the Economic Freedom Fighters. The leader of the EFF will be seated on that particular podium. You will see our editors and senior correspondents will be amongst these tables. You can also see our very own international relations editor, Sophie Mkwena. She's already here mingling and engaging with other industry players within the journalism space. So it will be a rather interesting conversation with Julius Malema. In fact, it will be a dialogue engaging him on the 10 years of the Economic Freedom Fighters and where this organization is going to go in the next few years, looking at the electoral fortunes come the 2024 general election.
Thank you so much, Samkele Maseko, on that dialogue with Julius Malema, the leader of the EFF.